but also ensuring that we are also behind Bafana as a national asset. I think as a brand, it's very important that we do rally with a property like Bafana. So all in all, it's really been a great journey.
Okay.
Just to come in there on a short note. I mean, Doc, you've been with 10Bet. You could have been with any other betting company, but you are with 10Bet.
Yeah.
How much of it that you wish you had probably something like this during the playing days in terms of the sponsorship of the squad that we have?
What kind of sponsorship?
Yeah, in terms of the assistance from
from
companies
10Bet.
like
Okay. I guess things have evolved in terms of sponsorship and the game, but during our times, whatever sponsorship was available for us, it was good. And I think also it would have probably made things easier because there are countries that we traveled to and we were given a hostile treatment. So instead of us getting a jet to play, we had to use SAA, fly 7 days before the kickoff. And I mean, against Zimbabwe, a game in Zimbabwe, we were there 7 days before the game. And unfortunately, 60% of the boys, we couldn't eat their food. So we had to resort to rolls and tea. So we went to DR Congo, and the kind of hotel that we were staying in, it has those ladies who work at night. And they were calling us, Mandela, come up here. I mean, there are certain things that you guys don't know. What does it take for the national team to play away? And what kind of a pressure we have as South Africans when we play these countries outside South Africa. And this is not a joke, it's a truth. But I'm saying as an individual that actually built a character out of us because we became stronger, and that's when probably we even managed to win 1996. So how would you prepare a team to play at 3 o'clock when they check the passport, the accreditations at 2 o'clock? They painted the dressing room at 1:45. And they can't check it outside. We have to be inside. But you guys didn't know those things. So 10Bet and everybody makes it easier for Bafana. Today, Bafana can get a jet from here and play and out. So that's the beauty about having this kind of sponsors.
I think another thing that's important to note is this is probably the most exciting Bafana squad that we've seen in the last couple of years. And I think having a brand like Timbek to really amplify the squad, where the country had lost a lot of hope, I think is so important. And I think this couldn't be a better time for a sponsorship like this. We're so proud that we could be associated with the squad at the beginning of its playing days. And I think today is hopefully going to be a reflection of what the value of the sponsorship has done for the Bafana brand and hopefully take us to victory.
Yep.
2002 was a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
I was in grade 2 at the time. My daughter's about to go to grade 1. What will it mean to the country if we seal qualification? We know it's so close, it's on the brink. There's 9 points still to play with, but we could do it in style tonight. What would it mean to us as a country, you guys as legends, for Bafana to qualify for FIFA World Cup? Even sounds unreal saying.
I know. Remember, when you qualify, it's not about that particular moment. It's a journey. So you are an ambassador of a country. So when we qualify, we're selling South Africa. So it's easy for us to be recognized outside because we participate. Take, for example, Springboks. So everywhere in the world, they talk about Springboks. So if we don't participate in this kind of tournaments, we don't sell our country, we don't sell our football, we don't pave the way for the youth. So in that way, in I think it's good for us to qualify, for us to play in the World Cup, for us to sell the country.
Yes. Hi, Dr. Times. On the back of what you've said, what's your prediction tonight?
I don't usually give predictions, but Velile can attest to this because at SABC I get it right always.
Place your bets now.
Based on what I saw against Rwanda and what I saw against Dikwena, I'll go 2-0 Bafana.
Okay, but Doctor, those boys are huge.
They are. I respect Nigeria. The game has evolved. I recall the time we went to Nigeria for the first time in 1994 and we lost 4-0. I was with Bernard Massini's cruise in the lift, and the great Steve Kechi walked in, and he looked at Bernard and he's like, "Are you a ball boy?" And we all turned and we were like, "What the hell?" And like it was huge. So what's new? So Clive used to say, whenever we play against this kind of teams, an elephant cannot turn. So just reading between the lines what he was trying to tell us. So if he says the elephant cannot turn, and what I saw against Dikwena, I think Hugo Broos has selected a formidable side in terms of the tactical approach for the two games. And I'm looking at the likes of Apollis, I'm looking at the likes of Ngota, I'm looking at the likes of Sitabile, Foster. If he says the elephants cannot turn, will they be able to deal with the speed factor that the players will have and the DNA of South African football? Remember, Nigeria, they play European African football, so we play South African football. And these boys, they've matured. They're not actually playing the way used to, but now it's more economical in terms of, you could see the tactical approach. Against Dikwena, there are 4 occasions I counted. It took them 7 seconds to be in the final thirds of Dikwena. That on its own, it was Arsene Wenger that introduced that tactical approach. And if our boys can do the same against Nigeria, the speed factor, I think Nigeria will have a problem. But again, having said that, we don't have to shy away that they have the best team. So I'm not sure whether the other player that is injured will be playing today. You know who I'm talking about. And look, so they have a strong squad in terms of personnel on paper. But the boys, they've showed character when they played against them in Ivory Coast and again in Nigeria. So it's not about you play for Chelsea or whatever. We'll bring a player that's playing for Skokune. We'll bring a player that plays for Pirates. We'll bring a player that plays for Sundowns. And they will challenge you. So that tells you that clearly South African football has taken a curve. And we need to acknowledge and promote it and give the boys the support they deserve. Because before, we used to shake when we see Stephen Kechi and we were like, Jesus Christ, this man is playing for Manchester, he's playing for that. But today it's no longer like that. If they were to beat Rwanda 1-0 with Ntwari that haven't played for an entire season, clearly, if you and it is proper for you guys, to sometimes get those D lessons they suffer, because it will help you to understand what sometimes we're talking about. Because some of you guys, you offer them too much. You're not straight to the point. So, having said that, I think it's going to be an exciting game. With Bafana probably enjoying home advantage with the support that we'll get, and obviously with Mini here, But on a serious note, guys, Thank you very much, for the support that you've shown, and you guys have been doing very well. And it is proper for you guys to have a relation with these boys, because our secret before with Clive Parker, our interviews were not like this. It was during breakfast. Every player that wanted to talk to a journalist, you'll have a breakfast one-on-one with a journalist. Because you guys, you are the third, if not the fourth coach within the national team, because you can give the information that you get from the side, bring it this side. This is what they're doing to us, but you guys don't know. So it is important to have that friendship or understanding with the players, the national team.
I think just to reiterate what Doc is saying, it's great that we have 10Bet to amplify Bafana as the official sponsor, but exactly what Doc said, it really is about the media. And right now we have the most exciting Bafana squad we've seen in years, and it's up to you guys to make sure that the country understands that narrative, the country gets behind the boys, in order for us to make sure that this World Cup campaign as well as our AFCON campaign is going to be a successful one. Let's get the country behind the boys like they get behind the Springboks. They have been winning, they have been doing their part, and now it's up to us to make sure that we amplify the game, we amplify the players, we amplify the stars that we've got, because they really, really are. And the secret is in the source.
Yeah.
We need to play our football. We need to play our South African football.
Yeah.
It's what gave Brazil their added advantage. They played their samba football and they didn't conform to that European style of football. And if we are able to hone our skill and adapt it into today's modern play, we really do have the secrets to making a very successful campaign. Any more questions?
Yes, good. Still good morning.
Morning.
My name is Usasoba Iwana and I write for The Guardian. I watched you play.
Yeah.
I was old enough to watch you play in 96 when you won.
Yeah.
And followed the progression of South African football from your time to now.
Yeah.
It's taken a Belgian coach to come and do some work on Bafana. But Hugo Broos is not exactly a young chap. He's going to leave sooner or later.
Exactly.
What is the future of South African football when he goes?
What a question. It's a good one, but directed to the wrong person. I think I would like to believe that SAFA, they have reservation for that kind of a situation. And we don't have our former player just sitting there to be an assistant. So I would like to believe that SAFA probably is the right association to answer.
But
I know.
You know
Look,
South African football.
I know,
well enough to
yes.
answer.
I don't want to go to politics because we actually have a monster that we need to deal with tonight. And I don't want us to go there with negative thoughts and everything. So we need to be positive. That can be reserved for another day. So as a legend, I would like to believe that SAFA will take care of that.
Yeah, Dr. I
Yeah.
think maybe to continue from Mr. Osaso, but in a different direction. Coach Hugo, now officially the longest serving
Bafana coach, yeah.
And if you look at his achievements, fortunately, you are part of the golden generation under the late Clyde.
Yeah.
What would you say he's done differently
Okay.
in this period? Even in terms of our tactical variations, as you are saying, we still have the flair.
Okay.
But tactically, these boys, they can just turn on the game.
Okay.
Sasso is shivering here next to me.
No.
So
What has he done in this period?
yeah, I think he didn't do anything different. He just when he came, he was not too sure yet about our DNA. But I think he got it right, and he continued where Clive left off, because Clive had a core of players that we will find on the team, like 80% to 90, and it's exactly what Hugo is doing. So he kept the core of the players, and probably one or two he will introduce, because some of the changes, the footballing problem, like your injuries, red cards, suspensions, maybe out of form from club level. So you remember Clive once struck me because he thought I was fat. So it was a footballing problem, but he kept the core. So Hugo, he kept the core of the players, and that's a reason why his philosophy is easy to be adapted by the boys and to implement it. So that's exactly what he did. So he understands the kind of a player that he really wants for that particular game. So if you look at the preliminary list that he had, and I looked at it and I was like, wow, looks like we were rebuilding again. But now when Tito got injured and he called Mbule, and I was like, wow, thumbs up. Because looking at Mbule Pirates, guys, it's not easy to just come from a lower team to a bigger team and you adjust. And then you play like he did, Mbule. So it was evident when he played against Lesotho that the boy is confident, the boy is experienced, he understands the kind of players that he's playing with, because in football we're talking about 7 factors that influence performance. The social factor, which is number 1, understanding, believing, knowing, all that. So he possessed it. All the guys that he have selected, they gel together easily. Because remember, there are those that can perform domestically, but internationally they can't, and we've seen that before. Sure.
Yes.
Oh,
Cindy Swap from Force. Doctor, you were probably obviously a part of the golden generation, and we saw South African football take a bit of a turn in the early 2000s.
yes.
What do you think from this group? We're gaining momentum. What do you think it would take for our World Cup campaigns and even AFCON campaigns to be successful so we can sustain
Thank
the
you.
talent that we have?
Hallelujah. I think we don't have to go back and do the same mistake we've done, because we've destroyed what we built from 92 to 96. And hence that's the reason why we haven't won any accolade now. So with these boys having regained the form and they are like moving like a speed train, we need to have a plan. We need to keep the momentum, because that's the reason why we have companies like TanBet that are involved with South African Football Association. So we need to embrace and protect the current crop, but we don't just dismantle them the way we did what we did into the 96 team. The unfortunate part is just that I tell it the way it is, without any fear. But there are people that I strongly believe were very jealous of Clive Barker's improvements within the national team, and they destroyed the nation. And I can mention names, but maybe after 2027. So, because I know that 96, how then do you say these are Africa champions? 2 years down the drain, 80% of them, they're not part of the national team, but going to France, a foreign coach is taking 70% of those players. Which association can do that? How then do you have an AFCON coach 30 days later, we're going to France. It's a different squad that's going to France. Clearly, something was wrong, not right. So now I think we're okay. SAFA, they've learned their lesson. So we need to be wary of that, because we're not actually destroying the national team, we're destroying the country.
Doc, one of the things you always speak about is how proud you are of how many South African-based players are actually in the squad.
Yes.
Do you believe that that is probably the reason why the team has been doing so well?
Definitely, because also before we never had a team like Sundowns, like Pirates, participating in the Champions League and all that. But to be honest and precise, our local players are actually showing that the PSL is doing something, yeah, is competitive. Yes, of course, not probably to the standards of the European countries or teams, but our boys here in South Africa, you know, they're earning a lot of money, they are taken care of, and for them to go out probably is a cherry on top. Yeah.
I have another question.
Ah.
Yes.
So can we just take your
Yes,
question
you take
first
it.
and then we'll come back to you? Is that all right?
Yeah, you just talk about you were star in '96 and then '98 World Cup. I think you played 30 minutes in the last game.
Yeah.
How devastating was that? Looking at the killing people had. And then you Philip through there. Yeah.
Like I said, I don't want to be negative, and we're talking about something that is water under the bridge. But just to answer your question, I was so sad because even at the hotel, the boys were like, "We don't understand why this guy is not playing you because jersey number 10 is not functioning." You know, excuse me. So the former coach didn't want to be told what to do because I saw that at Kaizer Chiefs, when we played Swallows, the fans wanted Sheikh Khumalo to be on the field. And from the bench, he said to Sheikh, go shower. You see, so I knew what kind of a coach he was. But it was so sad because this is every player's dream to play in the World Cup. But unfortunately, he opted for the players that were playing in Europe. And I just had to accept whatever that transpired. But other than that, I would have loved to play against France and to see if I was going to match Zidane or Desai.
We'll take your last question.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Doctor, you just mentioned you were talking about Clyde Barker just a few moments ago. And obviously he is one of the iconic figures of South African football because
Yeah.
of what he did with you in 1996. Do you feel that he has been honored properly for the work he has done? Do you feel that there is still something to do to recognize what he did when he was in charge of the national team? What are your feelings about this?
Without any doubt, we failed him. He's the first coach to bring the star in the national team. But nothing happened to him. Till today, if I were to ask if they know whether the wife is still alive or whatever, nobody knows. But we do, because we cared, because he took care of us. But that man sacrificed everything. The kind of work that he did with us was unbelievable because he didn't just build a national team, he built a family. And Clive, his team talk, it was not more than 10 minutes because he knew the only thing that he would tell us is that we're playing Zimbabwe. The only difference between us and them is the national anthem. And other than that, go enjoy yourself. And there was a game we were preparing at Rand Stadium just for us to, I think we were going to play Madagascar in Madagascar. And it was a crucial game for us to qualify for 1996 AFCON. And he was not too sure about it. And Fish, he just said to him, Coach, don't worry, we'll take you to the finals of the AFCON. And we did. But here's a coach that brought AFCON to South Africa. Here's a coach that kept South Africa #1 in Africa for quite some time. And nothing happened to him. Not even probably a statue or any acknowledgement for that matter. You know, but that is a topic for another day. And I appreciate what you have just asked me because that's very personal. You know, I was very close to that man. So I think we failed him.
Ladies and gents of the media, for those of you that didn't get a chance to ask questions, we will be staying for about 5 minutes after this session against the banner. You can